is new.
Oh, okay.
I washed this to give to you, and then I wore it.
Okay. It is what it is.
Okay, I think it's streaming.
Do you see what shirt I'm wearing right now?
Yeah! LP! Lisa Perry, man. What a fucking great job that was.
Yeah.
It's the greatest job that I
mean, it seemed like it.
It was, it had its challenges, but, like, I think about all the things I got from that job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. The furniture, the
chair. Free shit.
The chair you're sitting on right now. The
so
painting
dope.
behind you.
So dope.
All the cool little
this
colorful bags. This house. Lisa Perry bought me a
I
house.
married an NBA basketball player from that job.
I bet you Lisa Perry would buy me a house just because she felt like it. I fucked with her. I love a really rich lady, I'm gonna be honest.
Me too. If they're, if they're rich in a way that, like, they just don't give a shit.
She spreads the wealth.
Yeah, they just, like,
she, like,
don't care, so they give you stuff.
We're streaming, by the way.
Hey, everybody!
I love a lady who contributes
to the masses.
To the Andrea Allen Foundation.
The masses are asses, as they say.
Is that what they say?
That is what they say.
Okay, Maroon.
I am opening up the stream.
I looked so much.
Yeah, I'm completely cut off.
I looked. The last one. I looked so much bigger than you. Not like burger, but like because the way the chairs.
Because you're more forward.
I'm more forward. Can you move?
Why don't you scooch back?
Yeah, you know what? I think what happened is we moved this and move to the left a little bit. Not too much, but
to the right?
This way, whatever that is. Space time. Okay. And then same thing.
Well, so scooch back.
I can't.
Oh, really?
I can't. Hold on. I don't think you can't move any more to the left. You're already out of frame. So much ass.
It's a little behind the scenes for you.
Alright, this is
let's see.
This is a little more reasonable looking.
Let's see if people start filtering in.
Yo.
I'm also going to do, I really liked the other time that I did this, I'm going to do a Instagram story live. So it's like Inception.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
This is what you get from the live stream that you don't get under normal circumstances.
Yes. Hey.
Wait a second. All right, that's the still. Did you see it?
Yes.
Oh my god! People are already here.
Yo. Rambo. There you go. Come on. I'm also taller than you, so there's that too. Not to brag.
Are you self-conscious about it?
No, it's just odd looking.
I don't think it's as odd looking as you think. Guys, does Andrea look like she could eat me?
Maybe I'll delete.
Oh, why am I? I'm looking at that. That is not where I'm supposed to be looking.
Move forward a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. That's
okay.
More normal looking. No, there's just one where it was like, By the way, so...
Andrea, you look hot.
Oh, thank you. Much appreciate. The fan that I met in Chicago... Remember I met a cool fan in Chicago? She came to one of my shows, one of them that got canceled. And so we sat at the bar and just, like, chatted and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then she drove me to my next show. So she sent me a message. Guys, follow her on Instagram, _pineapple_game. And she said, hey, I started my own podcast. I'm not telling this because I expect you to listen, but I'm definitely including info at the end. I want to say thanks for sitting down and chatting with me in Chicago for an hour, even though we didn't talk for very long. Getting a chance to chit-chat about your career really inspired me to think about what it is I want to do in life. I wanted to do my own podcast for a long time, but I never felt like I'd be good enough, and seeing you take a chance and be successful really inspired me to do the same. So thanks for giving me the balls to pursue something that makes me happy and terrified. If you do listen, episode 7 is the one I'm most proud of, and it is called We All Cry About Potato Salad. So
We all cry about potato salad, everybody.
check it out, guys.
Check it out. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to
By-
check out episode 7.
By The Whore Next Door. Let's see. What is the...
Hang on a second. We're live streaming right now. Inception. Say hello.
Inception. Look at my... Woo! Big hair, baby.
Say hello to the people.
Okay. The Whore Next Door is her name. She was telling me that she was sleeping with her neighbor or something. Like her neighbor was a couple. The neighbors were a couple, and she was sleeping with both of them. And I was just like, get it, girl.
Damn.
Yeah. She also had an abusive ex, and she told me a lot about that. Like he would they broke up, but he would like break into her house to like let her know that he, that he could get in there, like to like scare her, kind of thing. Terrifying.
That shit is impossible to imagine if you have not gone through it.
Yeah, and like she would tell the cops and they wouldn't really do anything. Then there was one lady police officer who was like, she'd be like, he's outside of my house, and she'd be like, leave the house, call me, like I'll go there. Cause like stalking, the legal ramifications of stalking, there's not really like, they don't really take it that seriously.
No, I feel like unless there's an actual physical threat or like,
even if there is, they don't like give them a restraining order, but they don't really do much to like actually punish them for it.
yeah, you're right.
And it's like,
Well, then if you violate the restraining order, that's bad.
yeah, but it's like so many of those dudes end up doing something violent. Like it seems like it's a matter of time. And they're just like, oh, we'll give this little piece of... Put him in prison. He's standing outside someone's fucking house like a weirdo. Put him in prison for that, freak. Get a life. Leave this poor woman alone.
Have you ever been stalked?
No. I've had some male listeners send some messages that were like,
Scary.
okay.
Well, Andrea's queen of the block.
Huh?
You're queen of the block.
Am I queen of the block? Oh, blocking. Block. Yes, I love it. I encourage you. If someone even slightly annoys you online, block them immediately. Don't feel guilty at all. Also, if someone annoys you, but it's someone in your life, like on Instagram or whatever, just mute them.
I'm gonna block my mom.
Oh. I mean, I blocked my dad.
Did you really?
In life.
No, your dad's not on social media. Is your dad on social media?
I don't know. I doubt it.
No? Not even Facebook?
Maybe. I don't know.
My dad's on Facebook, but he's never, like, made an effort to friend me or anything. My dad, like, knows... He like, I think he has the right outlook on things. Like, he's tuned in to everything.
Mm-hmm, but silently watching.
And very tech savvy. No, not even, like, he just knows, like, that he doesn't want to... He's never, like, friended us on Facebook. He's never...
Why would he?
He won't listen to the podcast. Like, he's not going out looking for things that he knows will upset him.
Yeah, I know.
He knows that it's a bell you can't unring.
Yeah, my mom said something about our Instagram. She follows our Instagram. And I posted a post.
Our Instagram's pretty raunchy. My mom follows it, too.
I know, and I wrote
occasionally she'll like something, and I'm like, so you saw the post about the cum towel.
That's from me.
Yeah.
Most of the...
There have been a few times... I mean, I've posted some raunchy stuff, too, but, like, there have been a few times that I've wanted to post something particularly raunchy, and then I think about my mom scrolling through Instagram and seeing, after he nuts and you offer him a cum towel.
Well, I'm out here posting on your behalf.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You know, I'm happy to have my name on it, too.
You can blame all the dirty posts on me to your mom. She doesn't know better.
Yeah, no, I could do that.
All the dirty posts are me, usually.
I don't think so. But I post some dirty stuff, too.
Sure. My mom got upset about one that had the word cunt in it. And she was like, I don't think that you need to use... I'm like,
Why does she hate that word?
I don't know.
Does she know that our listeners are the army of cunts?
No,
Somebody
she
wrote in
doesn't.
the chat, wait, who, did you see this? Somebody wrote in the chat, Eric wrote in the chat, hello fellow AOCs.
Yes!
Love
Sam
it.
says, I had a borderline murder-suicide ex thing, but he got committed before anything serious happened. Oh yeah, these stalkers will almost always threaten to harm themselves, too. That's like a big part of their
Yes.
game. And that's so hard for if someone that you loved or, cared
Classic
about.
manipulation.
Yeah. I'll die if I'm not with you. It's a nightmare. And then you just have to, go to work and live your life. And you're like, there's this crazy person that follows me around. Yeah. This girl in Chicago, the ex broke into her house and, rifled through all her shit. Didn't steal anything, but just, rifled through all of her shit. So that she was,
smelled all her
a
panties.
1,000,000%. He was just wearing them on his face. But he was like...
I just thought of a story after you're done. But then what?
Well, just to, let her know that he was in there fucking it up. It was just to be like...
Oh, wow. Just to...
I'm in your house.
Yeah.
I'm in your house.
Well, have you ever seen that movie Fatal Attraction?
Someone said, I had a playful stalker. I don't think they were bunny boilers. Just into me for whatever reason.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
It's so heartbreaking. It's so, wildly unrealistic and also, super offensive to women. That movie would never get made now. At least not...
So she's crazy. I've never seen it.
So Michael Douglas is married with a kid.
Uh-huh.
He has an affair.
Shocking!
With what's her face? Glenn Close?
Yeah, Glenn Close, yeah.
And I think he just sleeps with her once.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, oh, just kidding, that was a mistake. I love my wife. I don't want to leave my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And Glenn Close goes crazy,
Mm-hmm.
starts stalking him, needs to be with him, and then, eventually, she does a ton of crazy shit, but she boils the daughter's bunny.
That is... Whoever thought of that image is a sicko and very smart.
Yeah.
That's you can't unhear that sentence.
No. And you can't unsee it if you've seen it. And then the final scene in the movie, spoiler alert from 20 years ago, she's in the bathtub. I don't remember exactly what went down, but...
She kills him, right? Or they kill him?
No. He shoots her.
Yeah.
And then you see the blood, spurting, and her,
I just wanted to fuck
she's
you.
like the Wicked Witch of the West, melting down into the bathtub, and it's so freaky. But it's also when you really think about it, and also, guys, I'm gonna plug another podcast that I discovered that's pretty interesting. It's called the Bechdel Cast, and they view movies through the lens of the Bechdel test. Which was invented by Alison Bechdel, a cartoonist, that is to gauge the way that way that women are perceived in movies. Because what the Bechdel test is it passes the Bechdel test if there are two women like us having a conversation with names, having a conversation for 2 lines of dialogue, and you would be shocked at how few movies pass the test.
Yeah. Well, Marsha Belsky used to make posters, do...
The Headless Women.
Yeah, Headless Women in Hollywood.
It's a different thing, but yeah.
But the posters are, it's funny how many posters the women on it are just, tits.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
But, actually, I think Marsha Belsky might have been on the Bechdel cast.
Oh yeah.
I think so. But yeah, so every episode they pick a different movie and they say whether it passes the test, and then they also analyze it from a feminist perspective about what the movie suggests about women. It's interesting.
Sam says that guy used to send me anonymous Tumblr messages saying goodbye.
Saying goodbye.
Goodbye, because he's gonna kill himself. She says
that's rough, girl.
He got Instagram 2 days ago, so that's neat. Send us the account
and block him.
And then Eric Quick says, "Oh wait, I did have an ex and ex sent texts and pictures from our time together to a current partner trying to attempting to make it look like I was cheating, I seriously considered a restraining order. Yeah, yeah.
If you're considering a restraining order, just get a restraining order.
Yeah, it's already bad.
I want to get a restraining order against all the men in my life. Just like start doling out restraining orders.
Luckily, no one respects them, so
yeah. Whew.
Doesn't matter.
So did I tell you about the guy who was going through my room yesterday? Guys, the most wild thing happened to me yesterday. Mm-hmm. So basically what happened was
someone broke into her house and started boiling bunnies.
He boiled all my bunnies. I had 6, now I have none. Mm-hmm. All of my roommates, myself and all my roommates are moving out of my apartment. So this guy from the real estate agency needed to come by and take photos of the apartment to put on Street Easy. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't going to be there. So I left the key under the mat for him and I went about my day. And I get a call when I'm on the train from him.
A call?
A phone call.
I didn't know it was a call.
While I'm on the train. I've never met this guy before. And he's like, hey, just... I'm assuming you left the apartment. I guess he's outside my door at this point. I'm like, yeah, I left you the key under the mat. And he's like, okay, do you want me to text you when I leave? And I said, yeah, that'd be great. So maybe 20 minutes later, he texts me and he says, leaving the apartment now. And I say, I'm just going to open it up. And I said, okay, cool. Is the key under the mat? Like, just to confirm that the key was under the mat. I wasn't saying, like, you know what I mean? It was just a normal, like, I was expecting him to be like, yep, under the mat. And I'd be like, okay, cool. And we'd both go about our days, right?
Were you asking for it?
So he said, of course, LOL. I told you I'd let you know when I leave the apartment, LOL.
I don't get LOL.
I don't get it either.
What are you laughing out loud about?
You're like trying to make it...
It's the key under the mat.
Yeah, it's a key under a mat. If that makes you laugh, then listen to my podcast.
Yeah, because I'm going to blow your fucking mind with actual jokes.
I said, haha, I know you did. Thanks, just confirming. Mm-hmm. And then he said, yep, you guys really designed the unit well. Love those spray paint bottles, LOL. So I have these spray paint bottles.
What is laugh out loud funny about the spray paint
This
bottles?
guy's cracking himself up.
Uh-huh.
It must be nice to be inside that brain. Mm-hmm. I have these spray paint bottles on my bookcase, so that's what he was referring to. So I said, thanks, those are mine. And then he said, I took a picture of it, LOL. He puts LOL after literally every sentence. I took a picture of it, LOL. Hashtag obsessed.
Oh, God.
I hope it's okay, LOL. I said, yeah, sure.
Are you on the streets rolling around on the ground from laughter?
ROFL.
Over these fucking spray paint cans? Also, why are we talking about this?
I know, but at this point, I'm so amused.
Yeah, you're probably also tickled, like, where the fuck is this going?
Exactly.
Why are we talking about my decor, stranger?
Exactly. So I'm like, yeah, of course. He said, so cool, LOL. And then he sends a picture, a photo, the photo that he took of my bookcase. It's like an artistic photo.
Oh, this is so weird.
That's my bookcase, guys. For what, your personal stash?
Sam says, take a shot for every LOL.
Oh, guys, that would be the most fun. Do it. Start now. Or a hit. Do you have weed? He said, gonna edit and play around with the pic.
Okay.
Of my bookcase, you fucking weirdo! Do you guys know where you're moving to?
Can I have the address so that I can take pictures of you in this room?
And I said, that room by my bookcase is also mine. I hope you didn't see that too, because it's a fucking natural disaster. I didn't know.
Now, may I say?
Yeah.
At this point...
Oh, at this point I'm completely
you're
participating.
With him. Yeah.
Of course.
I also imagine you're probably like, what funny shit are you gonna say?
Oh, yeah. I'm like egging this guy on. It's kind of like when we were talking about how like I was egging on the Australian chick. It's the same thing. Yeah. I want to see where this goes.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You know he knows where you live, right?
You also pointed out something so funny. He's probably a Hasidic Jew.
Yeah.
I mean, not probably, but he could be. His name's Eli.
Oh, he's 1,000,000% a Hasidic Jew.
But
or a very conservative Jewish person.
yeah, and we say that because Hasidic Jews own a lot of the real estate in Brooklyn,
Especially in that area.
in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. He said, haha, no worries.
Cody says this is how we end up with an Emily lampshade. Yes! He's going to be LOLing his way into...
He said, I'll make the best of what I got.
Basement.
So, okay, for a little background info, I didn't know that he was going to be taking photos of my bed. I didn't know he was going to be going in my bedroom. And as you guys know, I'm a big slob. So, oh my God, he sent me the Street Easy link.
Yeah.
I should show you the difference. There's like my roommate's room, immaculate.
Yeah.
My other roommate's room, immaculate. Both the rooms look huge. They're so spacious. The entire hardwood floors, like nothing touching anything. Mm-hmm. Everything put in its rightful place. Then mine, it's like there's a towel over the doorknob. There's fucking like 10,000 skin products on the desk. There's laundry all over my bed.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says...
LOL.
He says, was gonna cover all your stuff on your bed with the cover, but I don't touch people's stuff without them being there. And I said, oh, thank you, hope it's usable. And then I did the, like, eek emoji, like the... like, it's definitely not.
You send the eggplant emoji too, you fucking
And the squirty thing.
Uh-huh. I hope it's usable.
I literally meant I hope it's usable.
Uh-huh.
You're fucking... I said, I would say normally it doesn't look like that, but that would be a lie. And then he said, LMAO, oh.
We've graduated to LMAO.
Oh. Laughing my ass off.
Usually I'm not a slob, but I'm lying because I am.
Your impression of me is hilarious.
LOL. Are you LOL?
Okay.
After every text?
This is where it takes a turn.
Uh-huh.
This is where it takes a turn into Flirtville, USA.
If he's Hasidic, then you've already been flirting because you're talking.
I'm not flirting.
But wow.
Oh,
take it down a notch. You're talking to him, and he's been in your room. If he's Orthodox or Hasidic, this is like a very inappropriate conversation with a woman about her bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I'm not flirting!
I'm gonna find out.
Yeah.
He said the spray paint bottles and stuff on your walls say a lot about your personality.
Okay.
Now, just to let you guys know, in my bedroom, I have 2 framed large photos of naked women on bicycles.
Yeah.
They're kind of like statement pieces in my room.
That's like porn to him.
Yeah. So like him saying like the pictures on your wall say a lot about your personality.
Do you think
what does it say, sir? That I'm a big dumb whore?
Do you think that he thinks that this pictures are sketches of you?
Of me. Yeah, they're both me. One's a redhead and one's a blonde. Actually, it could be me.
Yeah, right?
LOL. In the best of ways.
Oh.
It says the stuff about my personality in the best of ways. He says, what do you do if you don't mind me asking?
Oh.
I plug the podcast. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, and I also said, this feels like MTV Room Raiders, and he didn't get that.
Yeah, because he's
Orthodox.
And you're like, haha, I'm playful and fun. And he's like...
He said...
I've never seen a woman's ankle.
He said...
This is like blowing his fucking mind. You know what I mean?
What? Yeah.
The women in the Orthodox community don't really speak.
Was it you who said that you were hit on at a bar by Orthodox men?
Yeah. And I think they often hit on like... So it's known that they often get like prostitutes... because they can't sleep with women until they're married, and it's very conservative. And so they often, like, even when...
Catherine Henson, the most recent guest, said that she managed... it's such a funny... She managed a sex dungeon, and she talked about an Orthodox man.
Well, can you imagine, like, not being able to, like, healthily interact with the opposite sex? Even just, like, out and about, like, talking to... Like, none of that, you know? Just, like... church and separate and everything. Like, of course you're gonna be going to like hookers and smelling people's shit because you're all repressed and crazy. But when I lived in Williamsburg, yeah, they used to hit on, and Hasids used to go to this bar called Union Pool. Did you ever go to Union Pool?
Yes.
So Hasids used to go to Union Pool when I lived there, because it was still a popular bar, but it was less packed all the time than it is now, and they would hit on, like, I was always out looking, like, real slutty, and I think that they liked hitting on, like, the really slutty looking women, because it's like, this is so the opposite,
right.
Like, a nice looking, like, put together.
It's weird to me that they would even know how to hit on women. Like, that they would even feel empowered enough to hit on women if they're not able to, like, talk to women.
Well, they basically, like, own their wives in a dower. Of course they're empowered.
But you're talking about before they're married.
I know, but I'm saying, like, they're the top of the food chain, and they're...
Yeah.
Of course they're empowered enough. They own, like...
But how do they hit on women is my question.
Like,
do they hit on you the way that another person would hit on you? Or do they hit on you like... Like,
they're not like, hey, how's it going? They're like, may I buy you a drink, my lady? And you're like, whoa. No.
No, you may not buy me a drink.
Yeah. I don't know if that's my good Jewish
Yeah, I don't
accent.
know either.
There
is an accent, though. There is a strange accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one time an Orthodox Jewish man followed me and a friend. We were walking through the housing projects in Williamsburg, and an Orthodox man was following us, and he kept being like, beautiful. Like, he kept like whispering like, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then he like kept getting closer, and like it was getting like real scary. And then there was a dude sitting on the stoop who was like, hey, fuck you, man! You're supposed to be religious, you're a creep. And I was like, whoa!
And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on.
Yeah, he was the best. And then the Orthodox dude, like, ran off. It was such a New York City moment. Yeah.
That is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That guy's a soldier.
Yeah.
That guy is a stoop soldier.
I mean, he also probably hated the Hasids because they were the landlords in this.
Oh, well, yeah, but like, yeah.
I'm not gonna... You know what? The Hasids are different... The Hasids are probably one of the more interesting things about New York, is running into Hasidic people.
Yeah. Brooklyn, particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny that, like, in one of the world's most progressive and cosmopolitan city, there is I would say, cult.
Well, do you know about the whole measles outbreak?
No.
Are you okay? So measles is back, guys. And I've been made aware of this because my sister just had a baby and can't take him outside because they don't get vaccinated for a full year. And measles is running rampant in Brooklyn. And the theory is, I mean, I don't even know if it's a theory. I think it's like pretty much confirmed that it's because of the Hasidic community. They don't give measles vaccinations because they're not kosher.
Oh, God.
I believe that's the reason. If anybody knows for a fact that I'm wrong, you can correct me, but I'm 99% sure. So, I mean, to that, I say, don't live in a city.
I know.
Don't live in, I understand, listen, you have certain religious beliefs and certain practices that you don't want to give up. Who am I to dictate what you do and what you don't do to your own children? But then don't live in New York City where there's so many other people that are then going to be affected by your bullshit.
Yeah. Well.
Measles? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
Measles. Mumps, rubella.
Ooh.
Measles, mumps, rubella. Beamer, Benz, and Bentley. Okay?
You know the scientific name.
What?
Mumps rubella, is that the scientific name for measles?
Measles, mumps, rubella. The vaccine that you get is measles, mumps, and rubella. Those are like three like variations on the same thing. Mm-hmm. But I just think it sounds fun. It's like measles, mumps, rubella. It's like Beamer, Benz, and Bentley. Anyway, now that I've explained my joke. We can move on.
Jake and Cody Allen are like friends in the chat. I love it. How's your English pinta? Yeah.
Jeff says it's 1 shot for 3 vaccines.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
That's what it said.
Measles, mumps, rubella.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're clear about vaccinations here at the Hot Mess Comedy Hour.
I'm a pro-vaxxer.
I'm a pro-vaxxer.
Just putting that out there.
Definitely big time pro-vax. The vaccination against HPV that causes cancer. I
had that.
Yeah, I think we were probably amongst. I was maybe the first gen. And
Yeah,
you were
I
the
remember
second gen.
it like that. Yeah, it was right when it came out. Not everybody was getting it. I feel like everybody gets it now.
You should.
Yeah, but it's 3 different shots, right? Did you have
They
all 3?
hurt. Oh yeah, and they
I don't really
hurt.
remember. Yeah, I don't really remember them. I don't remember them, but I remember like having to go back, every few months for the 2nd and 3rd shot and being like, when is this gonna be fucking over? I'm not having sex for another 20 years. Who gives a fuck?
Oh yeah, how old were you?
10.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you not 20 years.
So 10 years. Yeah, no, just 1 decade. Just 1 decade later.
Emily's a virgin till 30.
Yeah. Guys, I got another 2 years left in me, so in case you've been wanting it, you have to wait.
We've had multiple virgins on the show within the last 6 months, Jenna Marucci and Lindsay Lucido.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that? After a while, you just
What's
like...
that like?
Is it just like, who knows?
It's gotta be, you gotta get real good at masturbation.
I don't even know if you would... Masturbation is so not the same thing as sex. You know what I mean?
No, but like at least you can like make yourself come.
Yeah. It must be so lonely, though.
Well, you're confusing...
Sex and love, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
One might be able to say,
Some would say...
that it's reminiscent of sex and love addiction.
Some would say.
Is that fair to say?
Some would say.
No, but I know what you mean. I actually, all jokes aside, I do think that having sex with people can be a bonding experience purely because of the hours that you do it. Like, you end up spending time with people in, like, at a time of night that you normally may not. So you... No, I'm talking about, like, before and after.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Yeah. Like, I'm talking about, like, after when you just fucked and, like, now you're in that stage of, like, oh, now we have to fucking talk to each other and, like, whew, we're, like...
Tell me about your childhood.
Yeah, now the haze has dissipated. Oh, do you know a conversation that I had with my therapist the other day that kind of annoyed me?
She tried to have sex with you, and you were like, I don't think this is appropriate.
This kind of annoyed me, and I'm curious to get your opinion on this. She asked me if I talk to people that I date about my eating disorder, and I was like, honestly, no, like, not really, because it usually doesn't get that far that I feel comfortable or, like, it's necessary to really, like, talk about. And that's not to say that I never have. I have definitely talked about it with partners before, but those were people that I dated for, like, several months. And then, like, I felt comfortable enough to talk about it and, like, it was relevant
The
for
fun
them.
thing about alcoholism is you have to tell everyone right away.
Right.
It's the STD of mental health problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to disclose before you even meet someone.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could, but that would, like, weed out people who are crazy and, like, have a problem with it, you know? But she was like, well, why wouldn't you tell somebody on, like, she was basically saying, like, why wouldn't you tell somebody on, like, the second date that you've had an eating disorder? And I was like, I kind of was like, oh, I don't know, like, I don't really want to be that girl that's, like, lying in bed with someone after they have sex and they're like, let me tell you about my eating disorder. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean when I say that?
I do know what you mean.
She said that was very self-loathing. She said that statement was very self-loathing and that, like, I have preconceived or, like, I'm passing judgment on myself for like sharing something personal.
You are.
I don't think I think there's certain information that you don't need to tell someone right away. I think that like not everybody needs to know all your stuff until like you feel comfortable with them and like they can handle it.
I'm gonna say something that you're not
say
gonna
something.
like.
Say something. No, I'm curious to know.
I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been having thoughts about you and dating recently.
Oh, okay.
So here we are.
Okay.
Wading into dangerous waters.
Okay.
Okay. And it's so, okay.
I'm so nervous.
You shouldn't be nervous. Because I've been thinking, like, you've been dealing with a lot of rejection lately. And I'm like, why? I'm like, why? Emily's great.
Seriously, why?
I don't understand. Like, I'm like, you're so much fun to be around. You're beautiful. You're funny. You're interesting. Like, you know, and I have great conversations with you. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm like, but then I was thinking about it. Now, we have a great time together because you allow yourself to be pretty, not vulnerable with me, but you're like, you let the guard down, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, this, like, I don't want to tell someone about my eating disorder is kind of indicative of, like, I think you do a little protecting of yourself.
Yes.
And I think that doesn't allow people, I think in an effort to protect, you're not sharing, maybe, I don't know, I've never seen you date. I'm, like, dying to, like, be in the bushes doing this, but maybe you're not, in order to connect with someone, there has to be some vulnerability, and maybe you're being guarded in a way that you don't quite realize.
That might be true,
because
but
also, when I first met you, you seemed like a very different person than you actually are. Like, when I first met you, I mean, neither of us, like, we were not drawn to each other when we first met, but, like, after I spent more time with you, you are completely different than you present yourself. It was so long ago, but it was like you were kind of like walled off and more jokey about things, and you're like a very smart, deep, interesting person. I'm not saying you don't come off. I wonder if you're protecting yourself to try, like, this whole conversation of, like, I don't want to tell anyone about my eating disorder. I get that. I understand the, like,
I just mean, like, the first month. Like,
I would say yeah.
I
would say yeah, because what's the point of dating is to, like, connect with people and, like, share who you are.
But there's a lot of other. That's a very small part of who I am.
Totally, but I understand your, like, totally understand your angle of, like, I don't want to share one of my more painful and, like, difficult things with a stranger, because, like, dating in the early stages should be, like, fun.
But I do believe that.
But I think that you probably are hiding yourself more than you think.
It's possible. I'm not going to completely discount that, but
because
I think I'm pretty open.
I don't know about that.
No, I am.
Because dating is, like, the ultimate putting yourself out there.
Yeah. I think I put myself out there. You're not there, though. Huh? I think I am.
I am not there, but I'm like, why is this person that I'm so, that because you're getting these, like, rejections, and you're like, I think that we're getting a lot, like, it's not making sense to you. So is there a disconnect with how much you think you're putting yourself out there versus how much you actually are?
I don't think the issue is that I'm not putting myself out there.
I think it is.
I think, if anything, it could be that I'm putting myself too much out there and somebody decides that it's not for them. And if they decide it's not for them, that's fine. Like,
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm not for everybody. You know what I mean?
I don't get that. I mean, obviously,
well, that's sweet.
Obviously, no one's for everybody.
Yeah.
I get that. But, like, I'm just like, there's something missing here. Because the person that I know and choose to spend a lot of my time with is not, I don't know. I think even this, like, I don't want to share that I have an eating disorder is, like, indicative of, like, I don't want to put vulnerable things. And I think a lot of, like, truly connecting with someone is putting that vulnerable thing out there. And then they feel like they know you. It's much
Yeah.
it's much easier to walk away from someone where you're like, they're fine. I don't like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, but I don't see the people that I date within the first few dates putting their most vulnerable shit out there. I don't think that's a normal practice so much.
I think it is a normal practice.
That's like the most difficult thing that I've ever had to go through. And it's very, very personal. It's kind of like, you might be comfortable telling somebody about your abortions the first time you meet them. But I know for a fact that many people who have had an abortion would not share that with someone until like several months.
Totally.
So it's a comparable thing.
I understand that I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum, but I
don't think you're on the opposite side. I think I'm at a very me waiting like a month. Like, okay, so
are you? Yeah.
For example, I dated somebody who I've spoken a lot about on the show. And like he listened to the show, so he kind of knew that I had an eating disorder, but I told him early on, I was like, I don't really feel like ready to talk about it with you yet. And then after we'd been seeing each other for not so long, like maybe a couple months, I started telling him about it, and he was like, oh wow, like you've never told me about that before. And I was like, yeah, I just felt like comfortable sharing it. Because it's a complicated thing. It's not something that everybody would...
I think the eating disorder thing is a bad example, but I think she's on to something about, like, I think that you're very afraid of vulnerability. Like, I think you're more afraid of vulnerability with strangers than you...
Well, that's fair.
Because it is self-loathing. Like, as someone who has a lot of self-loathing, it is a version of it to be like, I don't need to share that gross, embarrassing thing about me. I get it.
It's not that I think it's gross. I just think it's
personal.
It's a lot for someone to put on somebody.
I don't know. I think it's pretty. I think again, that would be the biggest thing. And I'm also like, I share a lot of the biggest things with new people because I'm like very open, and that bites me in the ass often, or like. People are like, whoa, so I get, and I totally get, like, we're just casually hanging out and getting to know each other. I understand that, but I do think that the more you show yourself to people, the more they'll do it in return, and the more, like, a real connection would be built. It's easy to blow someone off if you don't have, like, a real connection, That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Because it's like, I think that you have so much to share with people, and I'm wondering if you maybe choose not to, or not even, I'm wondering if you are more guarded than you think that you are, and that's why it's like, oh, I thought we were vibing, and then not,
I'll think about that. I do think I share a lot, though. Like, I even get comments on, like, how I share a lot. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it.
Well, food for thought. I don't know. You are a different person once you're comfortable with someone versus when you're not. I know that about you.
I think that's almost everybody.
Agreed.
I think that's pretty normal. I mean, I don't know what you thought I was like when you first met me, but I was also, like 22 years old. Sure.
I don't know. I just remember being like, you're very different than I thought you were. I remember having a distinct shift. And I don't know if the person that when I first met you is like when your defenses are up a little bit, Mm-hmm.
Well, do you think that you might have been misjudging me based on, like, what you, like, preconceived notions that you had also?
Of course.
Because I remember you saying, like, oh, I thought you were, like, a basic bitch, whatever. Totally. Which is, like, I don't know, it came off as, like, a little bit judgmental.
Sure. Like, of course. But people are judgmental, though.
Right.
I'm just out here thinking about why this is like a pattern, because I'm like, I don't understand.
I think rejection is just a part of life. Like, not everyone's gonna like you. I agree. That's something that, like, I've just had to get comfortable with.
Oh, I agree.
You know?
I've been rejected plenty, but...
Yeah. And I've done my fair share of rejecting as well. I think it's normal to, things don't work out all the time. And sometimes they only work out for however long they're supposed to work out. And it's your decision. And sometimes it's somebody else's decision. And that's just the way it is.
I agree.
You know? I ain't hating. I ain't mad at it.
Have you heard from that guy?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did he schedule something?
Yes.
Interesting. Motherfucker.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. There's a troll in the chat.
Yeah?
There's a troll in the chat who's like, he said, like, looking good, ladies. And now he says, laying in bed on the second date, I need your digits. And he misspelled digits.
Track Slaya, too. I feel it's easier to tell new people deeper things about myself than people I've known longer and longer. It goes unsaid the harder somehow to say. Andrew's right. If a person's more open, you feel more comfortable to share back about without feeling ashamed or judged. Should dating even go that deep in the beginning, though? Haven't you two essentially grown into two different people now? I remember episode 1 and look at you now. And
yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
No, of course.
Yes, I'm very different than I was when I was
and same
24. Yes,
yeah.
I'm very different. Well, okay, wait. Maybe Andrew's right. If a person's more open, you feel more comfortable to share back without. Yeah, I'm very non-judgmental though. Like, I do feel like I connect with people fairly easily. Like, I really don't think that's a problem. Lisa X says, agreed, especially if you're far in your journey with being better about an eating disorder, it's personal. Yeah, it's like, if I was still in the middle of it, that would be a different thing. If I was still, like, at the very beginning of recovery and it was gonna really be awkward and get in the way of, like, going out to dinner, or, like, I don't know, just for example, or, like, I used to have really bad mood swings, and really bad, like, body image days and stuff like that, like, would seem, it wouldn't make any sense to somebody if they didn't have that context to understand it. But now it's like, I'm at a point in my recovery where I feel very comfortable. So I don't think someone necessarily needs to know right away. I think it's like, you can give somebody an opportunity to get to know you before they know, like, the darkest thing about you.
Agree, disagree.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. I don't need to know that like, right away, the worst thing about, like, the hardest thing that someone's ever had to deal with. Like, I can wait a little bit of time to see if, like, we have a connection first.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't matter, like, I'm fine if somebody wants to share that, but I don't know, I feel like it's a little artificial when you just, like, hop right into this, like, deep, intimate thing. Like, I'm not, like, a fan of, like, this fake intimacy, like,
What makes it fake?
It's fake if you don't know somebody and you're sharing, like, something really insanely personal that they maybe shouldn't know, or, like, aren't equipped enough to know yet.
Why shouldn't they know?
Because they're not important. Like, I share things that are important with people who are important.
Sure. But I guess
that's something that matters to me. Like, this is something that matters to me. I don't just, like, go around, like, talking about it with people. I don't know. I don't think it's so crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. I just think it's, like, I think she's trying to drive it at a point that I don't disagree with.
Well, yes, but she is also, she's also coming at it from a, like,
she's trying to, like, heal you. I mean, this is, I don't bring this up as, like, a criticism of you.
No, I know. I'm not, and I hear you.
I'm trying to, like, to me, this is, like, a thing that frustrates you and doesn't make sense. And doesn't make sense to me either. So, but I do know that you're guarded with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But being guarded with people isn't the same as like, to not be guarded with someone, you need to, like, tell them.
No, but she's using that as an example. Because she's like, why don't you tell people about your eating disorders? And you're like, your immediate reaction is that's embarrassing, or like, but that's a part of you that's.
Yeah.
I don't find him embarrassing.
I don't find it embarrassing. I just.
But your immediate, like, I think your immediate reaction to vulnerability, which most people's immediate reaction to vulnerability is like, ooh, you know?
Yeah, just like maybe the first 24 hours that you know.
I agree, but that's not these are like semantics to the main point of like, you are guarded around people. It is hard for you to be vulnerable. I mean, you've talked to me about like, you trust me, but
yeah,
but that took like, it took
5 years
to try. Yeah, right. I've probably trusted people that I shouldn't trust, but like, I think if immediate connection is a problem that you have, it could be linked to the fact that you put up walls for safety purposes, and I get that. That might be a coping mechanism that you've had in the past because there's people in your life that you had to be very like, woo,
mm-hmm.
with.
You don't have to say.
One person. But like, those used to be things that served you, and maybe now are things that are doing a disservice to you, and you don't like realize.
Yeah. Okay. I totally hear what you're saying. It's a possibility.
That's a specific example, and it's also
I just want to make it clear, like, I'm not ashamed of my eating disorder. That's not what I'm saying.
That's a specific example, and it's an extreme example, but it's also like, I think she's driving at something that does have a point, but it's like, that's hard. It's like, the way that you are that feels safe. Woo!
Right. Well, I think, the more you put yourself out there and get rejected, then the harder it is to, like, put yourself out there.
I don't think you're getting rejected for this person that you actually are. I think you're getting rejected for, like, also, like, dudes are dick. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like, dudes are
I don't
dicks.
think I'm pretending to be somebody else.
I don't think you're pretending. I just don't think you're fully disclosing.
You think I have a false self?
Yeah, I do.
What do you think my false self is like? Let's name her. Her name's Natasha. What's Natasha like? It's a hard question.
Nervous.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Like quieter?
Yeah, quieter. Like, you're like boisterous and loud and like,
yeah,
a very good conversationalist. I don't know. I've never been on a date with you.
Yeah, so like I'm not like
but like,
I'm not like a quiet Russian bride.
No, I would imagine that you're not that. That'd be fucking hilarious if you were.
Yeah,
what
right?
If I was spied on a date and you were just sitting there being like...
I'm sitting there in like 6-inch heels and like and a literal veil.
Just like saying nothing.
Yeah, I'm sitting there with a doily on my lap.
Don't
just
touch
like...
Like, okay, I'll do... It's easier for me to do it for myself. My false self that I lead with often is like this brassy, angry bitch.
Yeah.
Who's like cutthroat and like, I'll fuck you and leave you and I don't get, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That's like a version of myself that I've presented in the past. That's a reaction to a lot of things in my life.
Yeah.
And I've attracted certain types of people with that personality and it hasn't worked out. I hate showing them more. The thing is, when you have a fucked up parent,
mm-hmm.
you get very good at like deciding who's safe and like, and like presenting certain things, but like keeping certain things to yourself because they're gonna attack you. It's like a very natural reaction. Like, you're not doing that for no reason. It's a very smart survival mechanism.
Right.
But you might be carrying it into your adulthood in a way that you don't even like realize.
Yeah.
Like, something that I learned about myself is that like I'm very braggadocious about how much work I do. Like, I bring up often how much work I do. And I like people to know that I'm, like, hardworking and, like, achieving things often. And my therapist was like, yeah, you're, like, hustling for your value. So it's like you feel like in your household, so much of, like, the love that you would receive would be predicated on doing your work and, like, achieving and be good at school and, like, you know, getting everything done. So it's like, I keep, like, telling people so I can affirm that I'm doing enough to be, like, worthwhile.
Yeah.
So, like, that's one of my negative, I don't care that you know that but it's, like, something that's so baked into, like, how I am that I have to, like, try, and sometimes I fail, but I have to try to be like, don't...
Hip-hop, synchronized swimming, jazz, ballet.
Right.
Roller ranking.
Right. 17 extra...
Hunting, camping.
17 extra credits.
Tuba.
Get honor roll.
Just so you know, I can play one song on every instrument.
Yeah. But that's, like, that's not who, you know... When you know me on a more personal level, like, I think that I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
So this version of me that's like...
Could not be farther from the truth.
Right. But this version of me that's like, I did everything and I just did that. Well, it's a defense. It's like,
yeah.
It's not who I am.
Yeah.
When you get to know me, you know that I really don't think I'm achieving a lot. And
right.
Like, so it's like, it's funny that we project the opposite thing and what is inside is completely different.
Yeah, totally.
And it's a lot of work to separate that shit out. I'm not saying, like, just show everything. Like, that would be very foolish advice. Yeah. But I think it's worthwhile to think about, like, perhaps the things that you might be doing to divert from, like, actually showing yourself. It's also hard with strangers.
I mean, I have thought about it. I think I do. I've noticed certain things and have, like, made an effort to change them. One big thing that you might not expect that I do is I lead with sex. I lead with sex.
Yeah.
You know, I will, like, and I'll do this even with people that I'm not interested in. Like, I can be very flirtatious, but in a way that's like,
yeah, but I'm going to put out.
Yeah, and it's like, you don't need to do that. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, that is one thing that I've noticed I do. Mm-hmm. Which...
Because that's safe, because you know that's, like, what they want.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to give you this so you don't leave, or that, like, you know, so that I'm, like, valuable enough for you to keep talking to me, because I'm offering you something that you want.
Totally. Yeah. And, like, when I was younger, it used to be way worse. I would just, like, go up to people and, like, sit on their lap. And it's like, when I think about that, like, yeah, that's very embarrassing. But, like, at the same time...
Also fucking sick.
Yeah. It fucking worked.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, like, I understand what, like, who that person was and why I was like that and why I wanted to do that and thought I had to do that and...
Oh, I do that. That's one of my major
and I you know what, I think probably maybe not a lot of women, but, like, probably a decent amount of women do that.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Also, that's, like, what we're being told is a large part of our value in, like, the dating equation is providing that. So it's like, let me put that out there so that you still think I'm valid and you're interested in me. The problem with that is that once they've gotten it, then they leave.
Right. Right. But then it's like, I don't know. Who knows?
It sucks.
Cody says y'all's friendship is inspiring.
Oh, thanks, Cody.
It's so cute. It's so cute. You guys are so nice.
They're the best.
Lisa says, Cody, I was thinking the same thing. They're such a good combo.
See? You know, we'll just...
Meryl says, they challenge each other to do better. I wish I had that kind of friend. Yeah.
Not cool, Tim says, those relationships never had a good base because the conversations happen too soon, so you feel like you can trust the person and know them better than you actually do. I agree.
Well, that's what I think that's what I mean by, like, fake intimacy.
Well, that's the opposite. So that's love bombing, and that's, like, oftentimes, and I fall so hard for that.
Yeah.
Because I love...
When someone, like, bears their soul
because
to you right away.
Or they're super, like, affectionate in a way that's like, you don't know me well enough to be like.
See, that scares me a lot.
Right, as it should, but it's like the truth is always somewhere in the middle. Those are two extremes of like dysfunction. One is, a psycho who's trying to make you feel comfortable right away so they can do some fucked up shit with you.
Yeah, well, for me, like, the second somebody says they I mean, listen, guys, I admit I have my faults. I do. The second somebody says something nice, if we're being honest, like the second somebody's like, I really like you, I'm like looking up on the internet like their police records and like what could be, it's like very scary. But then again, I've been proven right a lot, so who's to say?
It's annoying.
What time is it right now?
1:39, so you gotta go.
I gotta go, guys.
It's been real.
It's been awesome. We don't even have time to share our hot mess moment of the week, really. But just know that...
Believe me, it happened.
It happened. And that's all. Happy Friday. Thursday. Fuck.
Fuck.
We'll see you next week.
Goodbye. My wife.